Hi everybody, my name is John Melody. I am the owner of the Erie Commodores FC. I am here today with our new head coach of the NPSL team, Dylan Sumner, an English native and recent Mercyhurst grad, first team All-American. There's lots of things to describe you, Dylan, but I'll let you do that yourself. So this is the first of hopefully many podcasts that we're going to do. It's off the pitch with the Erie Commodores. So we're going to talk about pre-season, first games, the season in general, the amount of time we've been in the NPSL, World Cup coming in 2026. There's lots of topics to discuss in the soccer world here over the course of this podcast. So we'll get right into it. We've known each other for the last 4 or 5 years. His story, I feel, is a really, really interesting story. So go back to the start, Dylan. I know you were with some professional clubs before you came over here and on apprenticeships and stuff, but go back to to the start when you were a young buck and talk us through your soccer life.
Yeah, so I've been involved in football for the last 20 years since I was about 5 years old, just playing with my brothers to Sunday league to getting picked up by an academy and going through the system. Ultimately led me to signing for Blackpool in the northwest of England, where I did my scholarship from 16 to 18 before deciding to make the move to America in 2020 during the COVID year, where I joined Mercyhurst University. I know, very familiar with yourself and the Erie community. And I've had 5 great years at Mercyhurst. We've won some things. I've had some personal achievements that I'm proud of, and I've had a great time. And this is why I'm doing this job. Obviously, I love football, and I'm entering this new role, and I'm ready to go.
Yeah, an interesting time at Mercyhurst too, because he won't always say it, but he was first team All-American. Made a huge transition from Division 2 soccer to Division 1 soccer, was Conference Player of the Year. So you adapted quite well to going from Division 2 to Division 1 because of your ability. How did Mercyhurst adapt? How did your teammates adapt? What do you see the future is? Before we get into Commodores, let's talk a little bit about what that transition was like.
Yeah, I mean, the transition was tough, definitely. Hearing the news of we're going from Division 2 to Division 1, and we didn't leave Division 2 where we kind of wanted. We thought we could go further. We've had some great teams, and we obviously got a great coaching staff there. So at first I had a little bit of disappointment, to be honest, and then obviously I saw the new challenges ahead of Division 1. It's the standards are higher, it's faster, it's fitter lads, it's stronger lads. It's a really tough division, and we went in and we did really well. Obviously we won the NEC regular championship. I managed to get the NEC Player of the Year. Some of the other lads, earned all conference honours as well. So, no, it was a big push from everyone, from the coaching staff to the players to the bus driver. We had some long journeys, so
yeah.
No,
they're important.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. No. We had a great time. We had a great team again, like I say, and hopefully Mercyhurst can carry on this winning mentality that we kind of earned at Mercyhurst.
Yeah, and have adapted over the years for sure. So tell me about, we're sitting here now. You've made the transition from player to coach. You've already said you're 25. You're young to get into coaching, but ultimately that's what you want to do. So tell us how. We've done 2 days of pre-season already. Yeah. So how's that transition been?
No, it's been good. The lads have been fantastic. Obviously with my assistant Bouty as well. He's new to this as well, but it's a challenge, but it's one that we're taking full head on, and now we're looking forward to it. I think I've gained some experience from the last, like I say, 20 years of playing. I was Mercyhurst captain from freshman year, so I'd like to think I have these leadership in me.
Well, players look at you, you're a natural leader, so coaching is a kind of a natural progression for you. I mean, at 25, you probably still want to play a little bit, but at the same time, this is a nice opportunity. So, grab it with both hands and see what happens, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I always say the best thing you can do is play football. That's number one. And I mean, everyone who's retired and, as they get on will tell you there's nothing better than being on the pitch. But I think for me, number 2 is still being involved as coaching, and, you're in everyday training, and, it's not even just about the football. It's about, the relationships you get, the banter you have.
Yeah.
It's all part of the experience. And now, so as I enter this new stage, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to being around football still. So now I'm buzzing. I'm looking forward to it.
Good stuff. Yeah, we're just going into our 17th season in the NPSL. That makes us now one of the longest serving members in this league. I think it's us and Milwaukee are the two longest teams. And it's interesting, you know, I mean, I could talk about this all day, but I think the big thing is, you know, started this in 2009, and what you see now from 2009 to 2025 is the transition, not only the transition, but ownership. The ownership groups that want to get involved in minor league soccer is fantastic. When we first started this, it was almost like, you know, I owned it and coached it for the first 5 or 6 years, you know, and I think a lot of people did that. But now it's a different thing, you know. Even in the NPSL, owners are not allowed to coach teams anymore. There's another level of professionalism that is kind of kicked on. So I'm looking forward to, you know, it's season 17. We survived COVID as we did in, you know, in our other businesses. So, you know, I'm excited for this season. Last couple of years we haven't been as good as I'd like to be, quite honestly. Delighted to get, you know, Dylan's signature to sign on as coach for this team. Delighted with what I see here in the first couple of days. And, you know, listen, if you're not excited at this point of the season, you're never excited, you know what I mean? So pre-season, there's always a bit of a buzz, new players coming in, new ideas, playing players in different positions. And, you know, and from my point of view, you know, we're solid with sponsorship and crowds are decent. So I just think it's also a mechanism for us, you know, with the Commodores to kind of give back to the community, and we do some things in the community with underprivileged kids through soccer, you know, and that's very important to me, and I think very important to, you know, what the Commodores organization stands for. World Cup 2026 in the States, obviously it's huge. The buzz is starting to, you know, to snowball here a little bit, but have you seen much change in soccer in this country since you've arrived?
Yeah, I mean, I remember when I first got here during COVID, and I mean, it was tough, you know. There wasn't too many people outside back then, and it was, you know, it was all confined and stuff. But I think each year I'm seeing more of the soccer ball, especially with the kids, you know, just driving down the road, and it's not necessarily the American football or the basketball. I'm seeing the soccer ball more and more, and I mean, that's great. You know, we'd like to think that we play somewhat of a role in that. You know, hopefully that as this grows, we start to see more and more and
Absolutely.
more of it, so.
I think we all play a role in it, and it's nice. I mean, you know, I remember going to World Cup games when it was here in 1994. I was actually in Giant Stadium when Ireland beat Italy in '94, which is one of the best days of my life. Sorry, honey. I mean, marriage is up there, but that was a good day. There's no doubt about that. But to see it come back now in 2026 is huge, and I think you can see the growth, you can feel the growth. But I'm with you. I think it's nice to be a part of that growth and just to see how soccer's grown, not only from a community point of view in Erie and Erie County, you know, but nationally, and it's exciting. Like I said earlier, you have so many people getting involved in the game from a business point of view as well as everything else. People that don't necessarily know an awful lot about soccer, but see this as an opportunity for a business to grow their business, and I think that's exciting because, you know, when money is involved in some of these things, it's good in lots of sense because there's money there for development and these kind of things. So I feel like the next 12 months should be fairly exciting.
Yeah, I mean, you even see it on the TV now. You see all the anchors, and they're giving America every chance. You know, they're going there to win it. So we'll see what happens. But no, absolutely looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, I think I can remember the first time I saw, you know, a soccer goal or whatever it was in you know, the top 10 on ESPN, you know, it just never happened. Now it's a regular thing, exactly. So it's great to see it for sure.
As it should be.
Talk about our conference, you know, like I say, we've been in this league now 17 years. I've seen an awful lot of teams come and go. One of the constants, I suppose, in our league in the last number of years is Cleveland.
Yeah.
Cleveland SC, done a great job, have had some great success, and we had a good rivalry with other clubs have you know, gone their different directions, but Cleveland is probably the biggest rival we have. We have a lot of new teams this year, but, you know, so you've played against them.
Yeah.
You know, we love to talk about them. We don't love them, but we love to talk about them. But, you know, looking forward to those games.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, every game for us is a big game, as you know, but some games do get that little edge where it means a little bit more, and that's obviously one of them. They were a well-established team.
Yeah.
You know, I played with the Commodores for a couple of years, and, you know, you can see they have quality there, and they're a good team. So
yeah, and so, you know, we've new this year we have a team from Buffalo. You know, they just played Cleveland, just lost 2-0 in their first match. They had 1,200 people at their game at home in Buffalo. So there's Niagara. There's a lot of good teams in our conference right now. So I think there's a lot of parity in our conference, which makes the season real interesting. So again, we kick off next Saturday. We're on the road to Flower City, but following Friday we're home for our first game, so we'll see what happens. But I'm looking forward to it. Always looking forward to it this time of year.
No, I think we have every chance of, you know, we're in here to win. Like that's number one for us. We're here to win, and I think we have every chance to. You know, hopefully, we're all on the same page with things, and I think it's there for the taking. We've just got to go and, you know, perform.
You just got to perform, exactly, week in, week out. You know, so obviously we spoke many months ago, talking about taking on this position, role. You kind of know my wants and needs and likes. How do you go about putting a squad together to be competitive?
So for me, one of my priorities was getting as many, you know, local boys in as possible, whether it's from local Erie PA lads or it's lads from Mercia, Gannon, Penn State, Berrend, because I think they know what it feels like to, you know, be a part of this community. They've obviously, some of them will have been doing it for 4 years, 5 years like me. Some are new to it, and I think, you know, getting as many of them in as you can to create a strong foundation, I think that's, you know, it's important. And then it's always nice to be able to add, you know, we got lads from South Carolina coming in, we got lads from Canada, we got lads, you know, internationals, we've got Dejan coming in from all the way from Antigua. So, you know, it's nice, but like I say, it's definitely nice to have the strong foundation of local Erie PA lads, and then, you know, adding in some lads from elsewhere, and you know, it gives us a good.
It's good. It's a good environment to be in. I mean, it helps these lads go back to their respective colleges and universities and perform. And, you know, it's nice when you see the progression of players and players getting better. And it's nice for me to be able to create an environment for those players to get better. And so with you know, everything we've talked about and everything we have from, you know, coaching to facilities, and we have the dollars to back us up on this stuff too. So it's definitely nice. So I'm looking forward to it too. I like the squad you've put together. So, you know, again, it's knock on wood. You stay healthy. You can give it a rattle, and we go from there. But
absolutely,
see what happens, right?
Yeah.
For more information on the Commodores, to come watch these lads play, eriecommodores.com has schedule, ticketing. It's a good night out. It's a good experience. There's food, there's drink, there's good concessions, and you'll see a level of soccer in this town that you haven't seen before. So we look forward to seeing you at some matches.